Hello, and welcome to Bad Dubs Podcast. I'm Jade. I'm alone. My co-hosts have abandoned me. Not even my producer cares enough to introduce himself, so I guess I'll do it for them. Here's Austin, and here's Darian. They're
Hello.
great.
That was perfect.
What? Great intro.
It started so solid. I was like, wow, he could do this. And then you started introducing us. I'm like, no, I'm not ready.
Yeah, you just left me to die.
I wasn't mentally prepared to say my own name.
Okay, well, next time I'm going to intro again, and you gotta just say your name.
There's the stat that I always think is crazy. The average American, I think it's fewer than 3 friends. 3 people that they'd consider friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I mean, I think, there are a handful of companies and stuff who are doing virtual therapist and, there's virtual girlfriend type stuff, but it's very early. I mean, you've seen the stuff that we're working on in reality labs where you have the codec avatars and it feels like it's a real person. I think that's kind of where it's going. You're gonna, you'll be able to basically have an always-on video chat. It just seems like we're at the point with technology where the physical and the digital worlds should really be fully blended.
Have you tried using Facebook Marketplace?
I hate Facebook in general. It's a shit show. The whole interface is insane. There's they're trying to do everything on there. It's too much.
It's also driving old people insane.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't support. It just seems like Facebook is a place that just festers old people turning more racist.
I could see that for sure.
But yeah, they're always I always see aunts and uncles reposting pictures of a African child wrapped in an American flag held by Trump. And it's an AI image, and it's just some old person saying, why don't pictures like these go viral?
Yeah, I have an aunt that does that. Literally that exact thing. I'm not even kidding.
Darian, do you have any Trumpers in your family?
Oh, I bet Darian has some freaking Trumpers in her family. No doubt about it.
Unfortunately, yes. I don't talk to almost all of them, but my mom and my stepdad's totally flat earther. We're all in the Matrix anyways, apparently.
That's fun, at least. I like those. If somebody can have fun with their conspiracy, then that's at least they're enjoying themselves.
I think it's beyond fun for them.
For him, it's very it's not fun. His idea, why would I be a nice person? We're in the Matrix anyways. It doesn't matter.
Everyone's an NPC. That's crazy.
Wow.
How many people live like that? That's psychotic.
I know. Well, that's what my mom was saying, too. She was like, Darian, did you know only 1 in 100,000 people are actually real people and everyone else is generated by the Matrix? And I was like, Mom, then what's that mean about us? Statistically, it's highly unlikely we're both real. And then she was like, oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, I love how people that believe in conspiracies or any crazy idea don't think 1 or 2 steps after the conspiracy. Well, logistically, how would that work? They're convinced from step 1. They don't need anything beyond that. They're just yeah, the earth is flat.
Jade, do you believe in any conspiracies?
I can believe that there are aliens among us living as humans. Yeah.
What makes you think that?
We do that to animals. We fuck with monkeys and put in fake mama stuffed monkeys, and they fall for it. They can't tell. They don't have the intelligence to tell what it is. I could see them doing that to us, We only know our intelligence as far as we know it, and we think we're smart, but if something was much more intelligent, it would be invisible to us. Yeah, how we interact with dogs, They can't really tell that we're vastly more intelligent than they are.
Okay. So Jade believes in aliens. I just think it's funny the way people say conspiracy, as if it's by definition, if you believe conspiracies, that's just wrong. That a conspiracy by definition is not a true thing. But I do think I don't think I know there is such a thing as conspiracies, and they happen all throughout history. We just usually find out about it later.
Right. Yeah. They're a conspiracy and in the current moment. But then they're just history later on.
Yeah. Business leaders literally plotted to kill the president. FDR, he enacted the New Deal like business leaders like the Rockefellers and shit like legitimately were planning and trying to hire assassins to kill him. Yeah, so for me it's like I got tons of conspiracies. Like Bush, I don't know if he did 9/11. Bush did 9/11 in like the metaphorical sense of it. Like Bush Sr. created the conditions where something was bound to happen, where the U.S. would get attacked. And then, yeah, Epstein didn't kill himself.
I believe that one.
That is sus. This is the only anime podcast where we talk about Bush doing 9/11. There is no other anime podcast that talks about it. I guarantee it.
Good uses of sus. Nice work, Gen Z, or whatever is next.
We're millennials, by the way. Does Gen Z even use sus anymore? Are we behind the times on...
Yeah, I think you are behind the Gen Z time. You better go date another 20-year-old and get up
What?
the times and then fill us in.
Yeah, you should be an expert by now.
Shut up. I do it for the millennials. I'm a spy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You got to start relaying your information more.
On God. See?
What?
Is that
On
something
God.
they
What?
say?
Yeah, that's what Gen Zers say. On God.
What does it mean?
I don't quite know.
Worst spy ever.
No, I think it's like for real. I think.
Oh, I thought it was like the Gen Z version of Inshallah.
What the heck is that?
Inshallah?
Yeah.
Enchilada. Yeah, I've had those. They're great.
I like enchiladas.
Extra
Shut
cheese.
the fuck up. No, Inshallah. Like Arabic, like God willing, Inshallah.
Oh, I don't think it's that dignified when Gen Zers
Yeah.
say that, but
Agreed.
that'd be sweet if it was.
Okay, I can pull a segment out of my ass.
I like it. It's a good place to keep them.
Yeah.
You guys notice this trend of like eat the rich movies in the last
Yeah.
5-6 years?
Yeah.
I haven't watched movies in 5 or 6 years.
Damn.
Exclusively anime.
Is there eat the rich anime?
Oh, that's a good question. I bet there is one. I can't think of it though.
I'm going to think on this.
To fill you in, Darian, since you don't watch movies, you might be familiar with the movie Parasite by Bong Joon-ho.
I've heard of it.
Okay, Korean movie. Won an Oscar. And I feel like this was like, what was that, like 2018 or something? And I feel like it winning the Oscar, and it's very much you could call it an eat the rich movie. It's a movie about a poor family that kind of takes over a rich family's home. And it's definitely like about capitalism and whatnot. But I feel like the Hollywood studios, they saw that and they're like, awesome, this is the next thing. And they just started greenlighting any movie that they deemed to be eat the rich. So we got movies like Saltburn, Us, Knives Out, Glass Onion, Triangle of Sadness, The Menu. I see everybody labeling these movies as eat the rich movies, but almost none of them like understand the actual class politics of eating the rich or whatnot. They just are like vaguely movies about that reference class, you know?
I mean, thinking of what Hollywood is, it's kind of weird that an Eat the Rich movie could even really say something coming from Hollywood.
And I guess they don't really say anything, do they? Because they can't fundamentally understand the appeal of eating the rich. And so you have movies like The Menu where, yeah, sure, it ends with all of the stuck-up rich people dying, but it also means in that movie, it's the workers that are instructed by their boss to do it, and the workers also sacrifice their own lives in the process. It makes no class sense. Well, this is all leading up to is Liv and I just rewatched the first season of Severance because the second season is coming out. I just think that show is a really great example of eat the rich, and it actually doesn't have any eating of the rich or killing of the rich as far as the show's gone so far. But I do think it is an eat the rich show because it actually tackles the fundamental contradictions of capitalist work culture. And the whole premise of the show is just how exploitative work is in general. And I know you, Jade, have just been watching the season. I wanted to see what you thought about the first season of Severance.
I loved it. What a unique show. Love how they show like just the mental toll that it takes on people to have a work life and try to have a normal life. So much so that people are willing to cut their brain in half essentially to be numb they're willing to dissociate entirely just to get through the day or just to survive in a capitalist culture.
And in the process, enslaving a separate consciousness within your body to only ever work.
Yeah. And I like the idea too of turning against yourself, your future and past self being at odds with each other, because I think that capitalism does divide us against each other and ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen this show, Darian?
No.
It's not anime. Darian has not seen it.
I haven't even heard of it. I'm Googling Eat the Rich right now instead. I'm like, oh.
Have you seen A Bug's Life?
Yes, I have a long time ago. That's Eat the Rich?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, there's a little bit of a Japanese connection with Bug's Life as well, because Bug's Life, it's actually pretty much a remake of Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
That's crazy.
Darren, what are your overall thoughts on the episode that we watched?
Austin, you tell us. This was your pick, so.
But also introduce the episode so the audience knows what we're talking about.
Phoenix. It's based off of a manga series called Phoenix, which is by Osamu Tezuka. Phoenix was sort of his life's work, and he never actually completed the series. And then in the 80s, it was adapted into a 3-part OVA. Jade, what's an OVA?
Standing Visual Anime. That's what it stands for.
Wow.
Are you making that up?
On God.
He's making that up.
OVAs, I think, crucially are direct to video, I think was the idea. That there was television anime, there was cinema, movie animes, and then OVAs were this middle ground. With the rise of the VHS market, there was suddenly a market for things that might not do that great in theaters because their audience isn't large enough, but then something that maybe wouldn't be appropriate for TV either. So it's this middle ground. It's 3 adaptations from 3 books from the Phoenix series, and I made you guys watch the 3rd episode. Chapter Space, or Space Chapter, whatever. The premise of the series is that each episode takes place in a different historical time period. First episode's in like prehistory, second episode's in feudal Japan, and this one is year 2557. And each story has the same characters of a sort, although they have different names and everything, but you can clearly see, like in this episode, for instance, there's a guy with a giant nose. He appears in all of the episodes, but as different characters. And the actions of the characters in each episode, in a kind of karmic way, influence the lives of their other selves in different time periods.
It's the retro cloud atlas of anime. The main unifying element of all the stories and the different time periods is the phoenix. There's always a phoenix that appears in the story. And
I was wondering.
Austin, I think you've read more and seen more. I'd be curious to hear what you think the phoenix represents.
The phoenix is this godlike thing that doles out justice, I suppose. It never seems to interfere in actual events. Like bad things will happen, and the phoenix doesn't intervene and stop anything good or bad from happening, but what it does do is it places kind of curses on people as punishment for their behavior. It's karma embodied.
Yeah, what did you think? You've only seen this episode. You haven't read the manga.
Liked it overall. It's not something I would normally watch, so it was kind of interesting seeing how it played out. And at the end, I was like, wow, like no one ended up happy. Damn. But I kind of liked the Phoenix lady, except for I did feel like maybe her judgment, like I understand she was kind of playing the role of like unbiased, like if you hurt someone, it doesn't matter who that someone is. Like if they've done good or bad, like you still get the same punishment for hurting someone. So that was a little, I guess, different. And I personally agreed with the choice to throw Makima off the cliff.
That was such a brutal scene. A skewered baby just thrown into The abyss of a raging ocean.
But he wasn't actually a baby. Don't tell the audience I'm encouraging babies being thrown into the ocean. He wasn't a baby. He was an evil old man.
We'll plot point. Yeah, we'll explain why this baby deserved to be skewered and thrown into the ocean. Believe it or not.
ベテルギウス第三惑星ザルツを出発した我々は500光年離れた
Setup is that we've got these people on a spaceship. They're headed to Earth, but it's going to take them 500 light years to do it. And so they're in stasis, and all of a sudden, the ship is struck by a meteor. And when they're awoken out of stasis, they see that the person that had been commanding the spaceship is dead at the wheel. The surviving members of the crew, there's 4 of them, they get into their escape pods.
It's like a last attempt to escape and float in the direction of Earth and hope for the best.
First chunk of the episode is really just them stuck in these pods separately, talking to each other, trying to piece together how their captain, or the guy manning the ship, Makamura, might have died.
我々は半年分の食料と酸素で宇宙を漂うのだ
That was such a cool part of this episode. They're isolated, trapped in space. This terrible murder has happened. It's all like a terrible situation for everyone. And all they can do is just play this drama between each other, and try to figure out who did the murder. And also, they talk about more personal things. I know in the manga, they are also creative with that part of the storytelling. Austin, maybe you can explain that a little bit more.
They'll connect the panels based off of like who's in what panel, and scenes will play out simultaneously but in different rooms, and each panel will represent a different simultaneous plot at times. And then in the scene where they're all in separate pods talking to each other, they occasionally will turn off their radios to allow other people to have a private conversation. When 2 people turn off their radio, in the next panels below it, the next 4 panels, 2 of those panels will be black to indicate that they are not on the radio chat. And so you'll just have these pages where like there's black panels and drawn panels to indicate who's in the radio.
So artsy, so clever. And they obviously couldn't do that exact same thing for the OVA because it's animated, but they found kind of their own creative way of expressing that idea.
They do some split screens, which I think is probably a direct homage to that. And things are made more complicated when they notice another pod is trailing behind them, and it's Makamura's pod.
He's supposed to be dead, so they're like, what in the on God is going on here?
Oh my god. Cute 80s horror music.
A lot of synths. Yeah.
Yeah.
Music's cool, though. It definitely sets the vibe for the show.
Yeah, it made me feel like I was totally in line with it emotionally the whole time. It's like, I don't even have to think about what I'm feeling right now.
I can just feel it.
Right? It's telling me. This is going to be alarming.
Art. Whoa.
Anyways, Makimura is following them.
And they're confused because they thought he was murdered. There's a little drama. Makimura and Nana were kind of in love.
There's always been tension between her and Makamura. And in the past...
Sexual tension.
Absolutely. And this is where we start getting these flashbacks where people start describing their relationship with Makamura.
ごめんなさい、木崎さん。私、自分を裏切れないの。
Conversations they had with him, motivations, etc. And so from the pods in space, we start getting these flashbacks to when they were in their military academy. There we see that Nana, though she wasn't with Makamura, she definitely had some friendly relationship with him with some sexual tension. And her boyfriend, who also works with her, feels a deep resentment about this. This has led to fights in the past, and he's even gone so far as to attempt to kill him.
And Nana caught him in the act. Yeah.
What did you guys think of the structure of this part with the flashbacks?
I liked it a lot.
I mean, that's kind of what the experience would be like. I feel like if you were trapped in a pod going through space, you'd be remembering stuff. It's like when you're in a car looking out the window daydreaming on a long trip. You kind of have little flashbacks. I thought it was a good way to break up the monotony of just like floating through space and also increase the intensity and drama between the characters.
I liked it too. It was an interesting way to kind of reveal all of their theories about Makima and maybe their reactions when they thought he had died and why they're giving credit to maybe he didn't actually.
There's a guy with an incredibly large bulbous nose, one of the
So
astronauts.
big.
He tells a story of how Makamura had told him that he was Benjamin Buttoning. He had been shown a picture of him, and he's like, "Would you believe that's me?" And it's just like him with a beard. And the big nose guy's like, "You look significantly older." And supposedly it was a picture from just 10 years earlier. And then another guy, the commander, he tells him that once in his training, Makamura tells the boss dude in the past that like he was once on a mission and he saw a mysterious bird. And while climbing after it, he fell and would have died if not for mysterious bird's dust that kind of trickles over him as he's about to die. And that as a result of this accident and his having met the phoenix, that means that he would live forever.
I was super confused about all of these stories because they all had like a common theme, but like not quite. By the end of it, I was like, Makima's a fucking liar to someone, or all of them.
It reminded me a little bit. I mean, it's very different plots, but have you guys seen another Akira Kurosawa movie, Rashomon?
No.
Yeah.
You guys haven't seen Rashomon?
I've seen Rashomon. It's about the ghost trial.
The basic structure is that you never see what actually happened at the beginning of the movie, but in this feudal Japanese trial, you get these different people's testimonies, and it does the flashback to show you what their testimony is and how they saw the story or how they saw events. And so the movie is getting all of these different perspectives, but they all differ. And this reminded me a little bit of that.
And there's like a supernatural element that the ghost pod following them. I like all the places that this episode goes. It feels like true sci-fi. It feels weird and unpredictable, but while maintaining good storytelling. And even though it's only 40 minutes, but it covers a lot of distance. Makamura visiting the bird people and falling in love with one of the bird people and then ending up killing all of them, which is crazy.
We just did a huge jump.
Yeah.
You just skipped like 20 minutes of the movie. You like, fuck everything in between.
Well, let's rewind a bit.
Kizaki, the guy who's actually in a formal relationship with Nana, his pod starts to drift away. As their radio signals go out, the other two members cut their radio and they have a one-on-one where he's like, "Can you just tell me that you love me?" And she's like, "No. You tried to kill Murakami or whatever."
Yeah, Murakami. That's his name now.
Don't kill Murakami.
Makamura.
And I think it's in that conversation that we also learn her side of things, which is that she thinks Makamura is a robot because one time they were doing studies playing around with an x-ray machine and it accidentally went over him and there was no organs or bones under that skin. It was all just metal.
She still thought he was bae.
Yeah, she
I
did.
know.
She did not care.
If a girl I was interested was a robot, I'd be like, oh, swipe left. God.
I don't know. I mean, they're coming pretty far with all the robot people these days.
Well said.
More and more human. In Japan, they sometimes marry them.
Well, Japan also marries anime characters legally. Can I marry Bugs Bunny?
Yes.
If I pay Warner Bros. $5 million.
Is this a thing?
Oh, yeah, the
I'm
marrying of the
imagining
anime characters.
A guy with like a large anime body pillow
Yes.
showing up at the courthouse, and because of the ancient Japanese philosophy of animism, they legally have to allow him to marry a pillow because all matter has life.
That'd be kind of cool.
But how does the pillow consent, you know?
The one I'm thinking of, I think he had a little robot version of it. And he'd like take her out for dates and stuff.
Wow.
And she was all squishy. Silicone-y. For no reason.
I don't like that.
Put that on Pornhub.
It's probably on there.
God.
Our protagonists' pods
It's like enough.
get slowly drawn towards a mysterious planet where they crash land, notably with their boss, the older guy. His parachute doesn't launch on the pod, and I thought the way that they did his death, like I thought that whole sequence was really, it worked on me.
Yeah, he's a captain and he seems like responsible and just a good guy, you know, but then he pretty much burns up into nothing. He lights up, ignites into flame in the atmosphere, and then you literally see his pod dwindle into nothing, disappears in the smoke as he's like screaming. That was intense.
And you know, if he had survived, I have a feeling the following events would have turned out very differently.
Yeah, he seemed like a good leader.
He would have kept people semi-normal-ish.
Now that guy had big dick energy, am I right?
You were so right on this one.
Thank you.
100%.
Come on. Thank you. Okay, all right.
It goes without saying, really.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought we all knew.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing out the obvious.
その惑星の大気は地球とほとんど変わらず水も豊富にあった。
So now it's basically Nana and Big Nose Guy. They've been separated. They landed in different places. They're not even sure if the other survived. Nana stumbles across Makamura's pod,
牧村さんのだわ。無事に着陸してたのね。
which miraculously, I will just say, kind of a plot hole. Because if the chief dude, if his parachute not deploying led to him like burning up upon entry into the atmosphere, Makamura's pod would too.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Because she eventually opens the pod and shock, what we see inside is a disgusting baby.
Gooey baby.
A gooey baby.
So gnar.
Like,
Hanging up like a spider.
Yeah.
yeah, like in utero almost. But
Yeah.
like the inside of the pod is like all fleshy and gross.
Yeah, it looked like natto, fermented soybeans.
That is the worst analogy.
I love natto though.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
I feel like I'm being so helpful this episode. I'm giving a lot.
You're nailing the visuals. But yeah, no, that seems right. And they played the suspenseful horror music leading up to it. It's like, whatever's in
Yeah.
there better be amazing.
They hovered over the dark hole as she opened the door. And then when they zoom in to see inside, you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? There's like a gooey baby.
Of all the things.
Not a gooey baby.
Yuck.
Ew.
Meanwhile, Nose Guy, searching for Nana, stumbles across a bird lady, a lady with bird feet.
私は宇宙の星々を旅するもの。
Now we finally get the true story. After hearing like all these different like, you know, three blind men trying to describe an elephant, finally this omnipotent or omnipresent, I don't know. I'm going to cut that out because I sound like an idiot.
Demigod.
You know, finally we get the real story where this bird lady is going to tell us what is up with Makamura and why he is a baby now.
すべてはフレミル星で起こりました。
Jade, you want to tell us, you're so excited to tell us about this. Tell us the true story of Makamura and why he's a baby now.
Okay.
彼らがフレミルを訪れた
So Makamura was part of this squad of astronauts that landed on this planet. The planet happened to be populated by the bird, half-human creatures that were really friendly and a utopian society, it kind of seemed like. But Makamura and his team are like working on the spaceship one time, and the ship explodes, killing pretty much his entire crew, except for Makamura, also destroying his means of returning to Earth. And at first, Makamura is super distraught and upset that he's trapped on this planet. He's kind of racist towards, or speciesist. I don't even know what you'd call it, if it's like racism against another.
It's not even kind of.
Yeah, he's like, these are just like stupid fucking birds is pretty much how he feels about them.
Jade, you got to turn off your video, dude. You're turning into...
Can you hear me now? God damn it.
I just occasionally hear, God damn it. Oh, he's gone.
Oh my God. All right, I just turned off internet on like 5 of my iPads.
Why do you have so many iPads?
That's your problem, yeah.
It's a fucking power move. The more iPads you have, the bigger dick you have, all right?
That's why he keeps getting the 20-year-olds. He just brings all his
Shut-
iPads and holds them like a deck of cards.
Okay, anyways.
Pick up from, he's left there alone, and you're saying that he's birdist.
Yeah, he's birdist. All of his human companions have been killed, and he doesn't have a way home. He is like a total dick to these bird people that are actually super nice to him and like caring for him. He's like in this grieving process and sitting sad and lonely by a river. And one of the bird people, this young bird woman, starts to like, take care of him and feed him and just be nice to him and tender to him. Eventually he warms up to her and they end up falling in love. He develops life there with the bird people and assimilates and learns to love them and kind of changes as a character, not birdist anymore. He's fully integrated. But at one point he gets an intercom from Earth and he gets all excited and realizes there's hope to return back to Earth.
They tell him they're going to send a ship. They just need his coordinates.
It's sad because his bird wife is like, no, don't go. Like, don't you love me? And he's like, no, I got to return to Earth. But she gets super jealous and ends up destroying all of his equipment. And he walks into the room to see all of his communication equipment destroyed, realizing that now he won't be able to return to Earth. He gets super pissed and grabs his gat.
Yeah, he flies into a rage. It turns out he's the colonizer mind never left him. And he starts like just telling her, like, you're just, what is he like? He's like calling her like, oh, you're just birds, and it's like you're just beasts.
This part is fucked up.
Yeah.
He comes in with the gun, points it at her. There's like a moment of hesitation before he pulls the trigger, and then just like blows her away.
Splits her in half in a really intense slow motion sequence, which I thought was well done, but very intense.
Yeah, and it just gets a little bit worse from there. These people are just fucking bird people, and if they're bird people, I can eat them like chicken. And so he roasted his wife by shooting her with this laser gun, and her leg that's been blown off is just sitting on the ground, and he picks it up and starts chewing on it. Some other bird people walk in, and they're like, oh, what in the fuck?
It's a horror show, yeah.
Yeah, it's horrifying. And he goes on a rampage and starts murdering all the bird people. He's on this flying bike just zooming around, shooting them, killing them. Until he comes to what he thinks is like the last survivor and kind of corners her against this cliff. And as he's about to shoot her,
she glows blue, and it's revealed that she's actually the Phoenix.
yeah,
She says, remember this, you will be punished.
But he doesn't totally know what that means at first, right? Like it takes a little while before he starts recognizing.
How many years would have to go by before you're like, I'm Benjamin Buttoning? You wouldn't notice it for a couple years, I feel like. You'd just be like, wow, I guess I'm like healthier than ever.
Yeah.
yeah, I give it like 7-10 years.
Yeah.
That's when you'd probably notice.
So when you were supposed to be 40 and you look 20, you'd be like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, whatever. You do the math then on Benjamin Buttoning.
Right after Makamura finishes his genocide of the bird people, a ship shows up. And it turns out that the destruction of his communications equipment really wasn't that big of a deal. And they've arrived. And so, yeah, he gets to go on with the rest of his life, but with his body growing younger. Apparently for the Phoenix, the punishment for mass murder at a massive scale, the punishment for that kind of murder is actually eternal life.
I don't really know what that says, but it seems profound.
I don't know. Do you think that would make him value life more or less as he just lives on forever, going up and down in age?
I think the point is it's torture. You're kind of in limbo. I think that would be hell, to live forever.
We also find that this bird lady says this planet has no name. It's a place for those who have been condemned to exile. But she tells the guy with the big nose that he wasn't meant to be here, and none of the other passengers of the ship were supposed to end up on this planet. It was really only Makamura, and that she'll happily send the rest of the surviving crew back to Earth, but Makamura has to stay here. So it isn't, I guess, simply eternal life, but it's life without any companionship. It's eternity of loneliness.
Mm-hmm. Besides these weird, freaky plant-like leg-looking things that are in the sand. Those are
I don't like
freaky.
those. Imagine their texture. They must just suck to touch.
Ooh. I'm imagining like a cold cucumber, but a little bit damp.
And maybe like soft. I don't know. I'm thinking of like a dead arm.
Ah, yeah.
What are you thinking of, Austin?
wasn't thinking about touching it, I guess. I just thought it looked gross.
Yeah, no. Yeah, me either.
Big Nose Guy finally finds Nana, and she's got the baby. She wants to be with Makamura. He's completed his reversion cycle, so he's now not getting younger. He gets to go back into being a reverse Benjamin Button, which is just a normal person. So she's gonna like live out the rest of her days with Makamura as he grows up, sort of like as a mother to her.
Why do all these ladies fall for Makamura? What is so bae about him? The bird lady, and now Nana. They're like in love with him enough to like sacrifice their lives to be with him, even baby version of him.
He's a bad boy, Jade.
I guess Nana isn't staying out of love for Makamura, but more love for innocence. She sees that he's just a child. He's just a baby.
But she also heard his history too. So I was a little like, damn, she's gonna turn a blind eye to that.
That's why I think she like forgave him because he's a baby.
Yeah, she says something about like this is like another chance for him. Like yeah, he's horrible, but like if I raise him, maybe he can. Like she believes in second chances. But Big Nose Guy's having none of it. He's like, that's fucking insane. Also, I heard what Makamura did, and he's the reason we're all here. So like, let's just leave him here.
And he's like, also, I'm also in love with you.
I know.
Out of nowhere.
And all three of the characters are in love with Nana. She is the only female astronaut, I guess. The captain who burned up was probably in love with her too. That's probably what he was screaming as he was incinerated.
And let's not skip over the fact that the baby was suckling on one of these plants, please.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was weird. I hated it.
Yeah. So the planet is covered in these trees that look like a bunch of legs sticking out of the ground. And we learned that if you end up on this planet and you can't cope with the elements and you're just driven mad, you can ask the planet to turn into one of these trees. And then you can just be that. And you don't have to just walk around forever. And so it turns out every one of these trees is somebody that decided to become one. They're people trees. And they also have breasts. And if you suck on those breasts, you get the milk from the tree of life, and you can supposedly live off of that. Because, the baby is like suckling on the teat of this leg tree.
It's very weird. It's like
I'm guessing most people have not seen this show.
little cow udders hanging off this tree.
Looks like a leg aloe vera plant with tits.
Yeah, very soft, squishy. They're like hanging upside down like a fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Big Nose Guys, he sees what's happening here. And he's like, I don't care what you said. This is fucking wrong. Wait here. I'm going to go grab our shit and we're getting out of here. The Phoenix told us she'd send us home. When he returns, Nana's gone and the baby is left alone on one of the branches of these leg trees. And in a pretty graphic scene, he's got this spear that he's made out of a stick and a pocket knife, and he stabs the baby through the chest, lifts it into the air, and throws it off a cliff into the ocean.
You're not going to see a baby get skewered in today's shows. Like actually skewered and thrown off a cliff. He threw the baby off because he was jealous, right?
He wanted to take Nana back to Earth, right? Like, and this baby is getting in the way.
I saw it a little deeper than that, though. It's all because of Makamura that they are in the situation that they are in. Otherwise, they would be on their way to Earth, business as usual. You know, maybe he would have the opportunity to live out his life with Nana in his mind. It's like, yeah, he was jelly, but like he obviously held back his feelings up until then.
He let it out awkwardly. He didn't have any riz. It's another Gen Z term. See?
Killing it.
And then he hears the Phoenix's voice saying, she's right here. In a moment of pure horror, he looks over to the weird cucumber leg plant and realizes that she decided to turn into one of those freaky plant things. And we see his eyes kind of light up in terror as he's like, why the hell would you do that? Why did she do that?
I have no idea. She kind of doesn't have the most agency in this movie. She feels a little bit more ruled by the necessities of like a horror movie plot than having her own. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I agree. I was like, she's really just simping hard for this baby. Like, it's unclear if you even have consciousness when you become one of these.
She was kind of romanticizing them before, too, being like, look, they all want to care for him. They're feeding him.
Yeah.
And she had said that, like, as soon as she saw the baby, she had made the decision to stay on the planet with him. So that was the only way she could stay on the planet and live.
Well, the Phoenix is not happy about what Big Nose Guy has done. And the Phoenix shows up and turns his nose even bigger and more bulbous and kind of like warts ridden.
You wouldn't think it's possible. That nose is fucking huge.
And he's told he doesn't have to live out his days on this planet, but he will bear a humongous, disgusting nose for the rest of his life, but also it will mark all of his descendants. And what's interesting about this show and the books that it's based off of is a curse like that happening in what is one of the most futuristic in the timeline also has an impact on generations beforehand. So, because he has that nose in other books. So it's almost like in this karmic philosophy, it's not just like a linear karmic relationship. It's like time is a flat disk. Your soul in the future doing something bad will negatively affect the past, if that makes sense.
That is such a cool idea of the show. The ending of the movie is a baby reversing in age. That also seemed to kind of line up with that time being this, not really having a beginning or an end, but going both directions.
The final sequence is just a Makamura in baby form crawling along alone and through the sand towards his mother tree, Nana, as the Phoenix flies over him. And all is right in the world, I suppose. The music also is like a direct nod to 2001, A Space Odyssey. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah. It's refreshing to watch old animes because it's just so different. You just can't imagine what's going to happen next. It's so strange. But also cohesive. Yeah. It's not so chaotic that you can't tell what's going on or you can't relate to the characters.
Yeah. It's slower paced, too, which probably wouldn't be as popular these days.
I was surprised by how, like, plot heavy it was. They pack a lot in there. It does have a slow pace, but it feels like so many things that are based off of a book where you can imagine, oh, that was probably fleshed out more here. You're getting like the clipped down version of a larger story. I really liked it. I wish there was more stuff like this today. Feels mature. It feels like it's made with an adult audience in mind.
I liked it, I think, overall, and it did remind me a lot of like what was popular in the 80s and 90s. I think that's kind of why there's so many shows and movies with that sci-fi dark vibe going on then. Like now we're in the bright and isekai, and if it's going to be adult targeted, it's going to be extremely gory. Not just like a darker theme like this.
That's a good point. Adult nowadays often does just mean like violent and dark, rather than like you have to like pay attention a little bit more and like follow the plot a little bit better or trust the audience to be able to put things together themselves.
Yeah, for sure. This OVA didn't take any cheap shots. It didn't hold your hand at any point, but also wasn't like super confusing. Just good storytelling. Thanks for listening. Till next time. No, that's terrible.
I thought you were going to introduce yourself again.
How do we do this? Thanks for listening. My name's Jade.
We don't need to say our names again at the end.
No, they forgot. They already forgot. Okay. Thanks for listening. Fine, I practice. I don't know how to do this shit.
That'll do.
Fuck.
Crushed it.
Awesome. Thanks for listening. Fuck. That's the end.